A retired couple in Fort Lauderdale spent $1.4 million on a 58-foot motor yacht from one of the most recognizable names in the luxury marine market. The sea trial went smoothly. The champagne came out on the dock. 14 months later, 40 miles offshore, the cooling system failed. The nearest qualified technician was 2 days out and $18,000 away before a single part was touched. That was not bad luck. That was the business model. Today, we expose 5 luxury yacht brands where the engineering, the warranty, and the service infrastructure are quietly failing the people who trusted them most, and reveal 5 where the price is actually justified. Number 10. Azimut. This Italian builder commands prices between $800,000 and $1.1 million for a 50-foot flybridge. But beneath the walnut joinery and the Cannes Yachting Festival booth, the production hull architecture is shared across multiple price tiers, with cost reductions that become your problem the moment the warranty clock runs out. Founded in Turin and now the largest privately held yacht manufacturer in the world by volume, Azimut produces hundreds of units annually, a scale that is structurally incompatible with the bespoke engineering the marketing implies. The Volvo IPS pod drives integrated into mid-range models are standard Volvo units, identical to those in competing production boats at half the price. Azimut applies no proprietary engineering to the drivetrain. Independent marine surveyors conducting pre-purchase inspections on flybridge models under 5 years old report recurring findings: stress cracking at the hull-to-deck joint, osmotic blistering ahead of schedule, and teak deck fastener failures from underlying core saturation. You are not buying Italian engineering. You are buying Italian interior design on a production line hull. Resale at the 5-year mark typically lands at 55 to 65% of original purchase price, below the segment average for comparable builders. The next brand charges less and hides even less substance behind a heritage story that is now almost entirely fiction. Number 9. Fairline. This British builder once meant something specific: offshore-capable flybridge cruisers with construction standards that genuinely justified the premium. That Fairline ceased to exist in 2017 when the company entered administration and was acquired by a new ownership group, and buyers paying today's prices of £800,000 to £950,000 for a Squadron 53 are purchasing a memory, not a machine. Founded in Oundle, Northamptonshire in 1963, Fairline built a legitimate reputation for North Sea-capable construction over 5 decades. What administration does to a manufacturer is not dramatic. It is quiet. The engineers who understood why specific laminate schedules were chosen find other jobs. The supplier relationships built over years dissolve. What remains is a brand name, a factory floor, and a workforce being reassembled around a purchasing brief from new ownership. Independent surveys on post-acquisition hulls report inconsistencies in laminate thickness, joinery tolerances below the pre-administration standard, and a dealer network that contracted sharply and has not fully recovered. Pre-administration hulls continue to hold value better than post-acquisition examples of comparable age, and that divergence in the brokerage market is the most honest product review available. The next brand is not a tragedy of administration. It is a deliberate strategy. Number 8. Princess Yachts. Princess carries genuine British heritage and real engineering capability, built up over 60 years in Plymouth, Devon. But since private equity firm L. Catterton, backed in part by LVMH, took a majority stake, the brand has been accelerating production volume at a pace that is beginning to show in the product. A Princess V78 currently retails between 1.8 and 3.5 million pounds. Independent marine surveyors conducting inspections on boats under 3 years old report recurring findings: teak cockpit drainage issues leading to core saturation, gel coat crazing on hull sides in sun-exposed climates, and wiring loom layouts that make routine electrical maintenance unnecessarily complex. Private equity ownership does not automatically destroy a manufacturer, but it introduces quarterly reporting cycles into an industry where quality control on a 70-foot composite hull requires years of material science investment. The pressure is not to cut corners on materials. It is to cut time. Faster curing cycles, faster fit-out sequences, less hand-finishing time per hull. Each decision is rational in isolation. The aggregate shows up in the surveyor's report. Pre-purchase surveys on Princess models under 5 years old are generating conditional flags from experienced surveyors at a rate that was not characteristic of the pre-acquisition era. The next brand's problem is not about production speed. It is about what happens after you sign the check. Number 7. Sea Ray. Sea Ray's warranty language has been carefully engineered to sound comprehensive while containing exclusion pathways wide enough to sail a 52-foot Sundancer through. And the Brunswick Corporation ownership structure, the same conglomerate that owns Mercury Marine, Boston Whaler, and Bayliner, with annual revenues exceeding $6 billion, means warranty disputes are resolved by a corporate claims infrastructure, not by a boat builder who needs your repeat business. A Sea Ray Sundancer in the $370 to $460 range retails between $350,000 and $700,000. Warranty coverage is advertised as 3 years on hull and deck. Here's where it gets cynical. Owner-documented warranty denials cluster around gel coat crazing, classified as cosmetic wear, raw water intrusion, classified as improper winterization, and structural stress, cracking, classified as a design characteristic rather than a defect. The warranty trap in marine manufacturing operates with more latitude than in any other durable goods category because failure mode attribution is genuinely complex. And Brunswick's claims process is structured to use that complexity. Resale for Sea Ray in the 40 to 55 foot range shows depreciation among the steepest in the production cruiser segment, 30 to 40% in the first 3 years. The next brand's problem is more fundamental than a claims process. It is a foundational question about who actually owns the company you are writing that check to. Number 6. Sunseeker. Sunseeker is the most recognizable British superyacht brand in the world, built in Poole, Dorset, and it has spent the last decade generating a pattern of warranty disputes, alleged hull defect claims, and ownership transitions that make the 1.8 to 4.5 million pound price tag one of the most aggressively mispriced propositions in the luxury marine market. Here is the corporate parent reveal. Sunseeker has been majority owned by Wanda Sports Group, a Chinese conglomerate, since 2013, when Wanda acquired an 80% stake for approximately 320 million pounds. Wanda has undergone significant financial restructuring since approximately 2018. When a parent company is navigating debt restructuring, capital expenditure on a British boat builder's spare parts inventory and engineering investment is not the priority. Multiple owners have pursued legal action over alleged hull warranty disputes involving delamination and structural cracking on boats under 4 years old. These are allegations in court filings, not established findings. But the pattern across jurisdictions is not a coincidence. The buyer writing a check for £3 million believes they are buying into a Poole-built institution. They are buying into a product line whose engineering investment is contingent on a conglomerate's balance sheet. 5 brands, 5 different mechanisms. The pivot to genuine value begins here. Drop a comment right now. Have you owned or chartered a yacht from any of the brands we just covered? Did the service experience match what the sales team promised on the dock? My guess is some of you are about to describe a warranty conversation that felt scripted to end with you writing another check. Let's continue. 5 builders where the engineering, the service infrastructure, and the long-term mathematics of ownership actually align with what you paid. Here's what that looks like. Number 5. Maritimo. This Australian builder is the most overlooked value proposition in the luxury cruiser segment, and that oversight is expensive, because Maritimo consistently delivers offshore-capable construction at a price point that European builders at equivalent specification cannot match. Founded in 2003 in Camara, Queensland, By Bill Barry Cotter, a veteran of the Australian production boat industry, Maritimo was built from the outset around blue water passage making rather than marina aesthetics, and that founding philosophy is reflected in every structural decision from keel attachment to fuel tank placement. The Maritimo M55 retails at approximately $700,000 to $850,000 US, against a comparable specification European flybridge at $1.2 to $1.8 million. Hull construction uses vinyl ester resin as standard, not as an optional upgrade, a corrosion resistance choice that European production builders frequently reserve for commercial grade specifications. Engine room access is a signature design priority. Twin bays designed for standing access, meaning routine service does not require specialist equipment or manufacturer diagnostic systems. 5-year resale consistently holds 70 to 75% of original purchase price. Maritimo is proof that the premium is not in the postcode of the factory. The next builder has been proving the same point for 60 years and has tournament records to show for it. Number 4. Viking Yachts. Viking has been building tournament-capable sport fishing yachts in New Gretna, New Jersey since 1964, still owned by the Hinckley family, still producing fewer than 100 boats per year. A deliberate production constraint that is structural to the quality control model. A Viking 44 open bridge retails at approximately $2.1 million. 10-year resale consistently holds 65 to 75% of original value, outperforming nearly every comparable production sport fisher. The engine room design, full standing headroom, logical component placement, standard industry systems, means annual service costs run lower than equivalent production boats, where access requires hauling or specialist equipment. Viking's tournament win record at events, including the White Marlin Open, functions as a specific and verifiable engineering audit. Boats that win in open ocean competition do so because they perform under pressure, not because they photograph well in harbor. Factory warranty runs 5 years structural, significantly above the industry standard of 2 to 3 years. Owner retention is a documented feature of the brand. Buyers trade up within the Viking line rather than switching manufacturers. Family ownership, constrained production, and a competition record that no marketing team invented. The next builder earns its place the same way, on the other side of the planet. Number 3. Riviera. Riviera is Australia's largest luxury boat manufacturer, founded in 1980 in Coomera, Queensland, building for the Coral Sea and the Tasman before any boat ever reaches a marina in Fort Lauderdale. And that geographic discipline produces offshore construction standards that European luxury builders charge twice as much to approximate. The Riviera 4,800 sport yacht retails at approximately $550,000 to $650,000 US. The hull-to-deck joint is bonded and through-bolted as standard, the specification that independent marine surveyors cite most frequently when distinguishing production quality from genuine offshore-capable construction. Full-beam engine rooms with standing access are a design standard across the sport yacht and flybridge series, reducing annual service costs against boats where access requires hauling. 5-year resale holds approximately 70% in the Pacific and increasingly in U.S. East Coast brokerage markets. Australian and New Zealand owner communities consistently rate Riviera among the best-built production cruisers available. Riviera's competitive advantage is straightforward. They build for the ocean that surrounds them, and that discipline does not disappear when the boat reaches the Mediterranean. The next builder has been at it for nearly a century, and the resale market has already done the math. Number 2. Hinckley. Hinckley has been building boats in Southwest Harbor, Maine since 1928, and the fact that a 30-year-old Hinckley commands near original pricing in the brokerage market is not nostalgia. It is the most honest engineering audit available in the American marine industry. The Talaria 34 retails at approximately $700,000 to $850,000. The Talaria, 55 MKEE, sits at $2.5 to $3 million. 20-year resale on Hinckley hulls routinely trades at 60 to 80% of original build cost adjusted for age, a performance that no volume European production builder at equivalent original pricing can match. Hinckley was among the first American production builders to adopt vacuum-infused vinyl ester hull construction as standard, eliminating osmotic blistering as a common failure mode decades before European production builders made the same transition. The Jetsteer twin-jet propulsion system on Talaria and picnic boat lines eliminates the shaft, strut, and rudder assembly entirely, removing 4 common failure points from the drivetrain. Parts availability runs back to boats from the 1980s. The service yard network, Maine, Rhode Island, Florida, Annapolis, means factory standard maintenance at multiple points along the U.S. East Coast without routing through an independent dealer. 100 years of boats still sailing is the credential. The final brand on this list earns its place not in harbors, but 1,500 miles offshore. Number 1. Nordhavn. Nordhavn builds passage-making trawler yachts and the documentation of ocean crossings completed by their fleet, logged, tracked, and publicly recorded through events including the Nordhavn Atlantic Rally, is the most rigorous third-party engineering audit available anywhere in the recreational marine industry. Built by Pacific Asian Enterprises, founded in 1973 and based in Dana Point, California, with production under direct American engineering oversight, Nordhavn does not build performance boats or marina showpieces. Every engineering decision is made against one scenario. What happens when you are 1,500 miles from the nearest port and something needs attention? The Nordhavn 40 retails at approximately $850,000 to $1.1 million. Walk-in engine rooms are a design standard from the N40 upward. Any qualified marine diesel mechanic in any port in the world can service these vessels without proprietary tools or manufacturer diagnostic systems. Engines are drawn from John Deere Marine, Cummins, and comparable commercial platforms, meaning parts are available at marine supply houses globally, not only at authorized dealers. No proprietary diagnostic lockout. No sealed systems architecture. The N60 carries fuel for a range exceeding 3,000 nautical miles at cruise speed. At $1 million over 25 years, cost per operational year is $40,000, against a $500,000 production cruiser replaced twice in the same period, with 2 surveys, 2 deliveries, and 2 sets of repair events that preceded each replacement decision. The cheaper boat costs more, not metaphorically, arithmetically. Every other brand on the heroes list earns its place in marina conditions. Nordhavn earns its place at 3 in the morning in a 4.7, 40 miles from nowhere, with an engine room you can actually stand in. The pattern across all 10 brands is the same pattern that runs through every segment of the durable goods market. The luxury marine industry sells you the dock and the champagne and the Italian leather, and bets that you will not do the math until it is too late to matter. 5 of the brands on this list have built a business on that bet. The other 5 decided the engineering was the product. The resale data, the surveyor reports, the ocean crossing logs, none of that lies. The sticker price is a number. The total cost of ownership is the truth. If this video stopped you from writing the wrong check, drop the brand name in the comments right now. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. If you want to see more, click the video on screen now.